because they will meet it in the future that is not too far from now. Okay? All right, can somebody tell me what we examined the last time we met? Please. Hello?
One of the things we did the last time we met was, I think it was Mr. Paul. Was it Mr. Paul that was talking about data governance initiatives as applicable to himself?
Yes, ma'am, that was it. Yeah. We present, yeah, it was the presentation class that he said we were supposed to present one after the other. I think I was the only one that presented, while Mrs. Effie and I've forgotten Pastor James or Mr. James was the one correcting me that throughout that day. Yeah, that was what happened last week.
Okay. So we're going to be presenting almost every day until we finish. Until we're satisfied that, okay, yeah, these people are strong enough now. And very important. So if anybody's ready, should let me know, because we're going to present. And also, your presentation, in your presentation, there's going to be a little bit of correction. And after the presentation today, I'm going to talk about, and we're going to, talk about a few things with respect to data quality initiatives and analytics, because that's very, very important. While we're spending time on this side of part of the modules is just to make sure people can be well grounded in terms of data analytics and data analysis. Okay. Right. So, anybody ready? And James, and
good morning, sir.
Morning, James.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning,
How are
everybody.
you? Yeah.
Morning.
Just a quick one. I wasn't the one correcting Mr. Paul. I think it was the other engineer or so. Can't
Okay.
remember it.
Sir
But
Louis.
Louis,
I was supposed to
Yes,
also
sorry.
present, but
No
I was
problem.
having technical issues. So I
Okay.
think I've been able to resolve part of it, and I can at least attempt something today.
Okay, James. So, Asuro.
Should I go ahead?
Oh yes, if you're ready. So.
Okay. I want to first of all thank the company for giving me this opportunity. My name is Achibong James. Shortly after being employed, my boss came to me and requested for some information. And he was particularly concerned about pricing and products. So in my assessment of the company's data situation, I found out that it was a greenfield. There was nothing existing. So I had to go back to him and we discussed on what steps to take, because he was a major stakeholder and also a director of the company. So I advised that we need to do a data governance initiative, which will include policies and a framework, and also training and some other things. And he gave me his approval to go ahead and do whatever was necessary. So I went ahead in my process of gathering information collection. I used secondary data from people's phone, from what was existing in the computers, and what I can find on invoices and other things to gather my information. I went ahead to create a database, which I also went beyond his scope to enhance my data information. And I started gathering this information. After 30 days, I decided to go on to validate, because it did not give me a time frame. So, but on my own, I felt within 30 days, I should start doing something concrete. So I did some data validation. I used the method of sending emails out, calling numbers to make sure that these informations were still relevant to us and these informations were still existing, which in that process, I did some cleaning and other initiatives to make sure that my informations were more precise. And along the line, I also did investigate on who and who are supposed to have access to this information I'm gathering. So my boss now said I should be the major custodian and steward of this information. And because we had one other person who was the finance manager, and she was already handling what I was doing before I was employed, so I was asked to make her a data owner. So in that case, we only had two people in the firm that had actual control of the data I was gathering. So along the line, I also went for training, which I said to my boss, we should train colleagues so that they can know what to do with data and how to handle data we are collecting. And in the process of this training, I discovered that there was a colleague who showed potential, and he was already running a program, an higher education program. So I went to my boss to at least single out this person for more training to assist me in data entry, because my job will entail me leaving the office. So I was given the go-ahead to train him, and I did, and he did a very good job. At the end of the day, there were so many benefits that came out from this, because we were able to have a centralized data repository. Our efficiency was improved, and it was also good in having good decision making. And some of the instances were when we ran out of materials on the site. Because I've enhanced my database, I was able to pick a particular manufacturer and distributor to supply us. And I went ahead to notice their what should I use, that their capacity to offer credit and also technical support. So in that particular project, they were very helpful because we were in difficulty, and they came up and gave us credit, and they also gave us technical support. They freighted some materials to site at their own cost, to no cost to my company and to no cost to the client. So at the end of the day, that was another benefit we got from this database, because we were able to streamline our contractors, our clients, and our distributors. And then I also did something in my database. I also tried to observe for those companies that they are not competitors per se, but we can relate and collaborate. And in one of the instances, there was we had a power problem in site, and one of these contractors were able to supply UPS on time. My company was pleased, the client was pleased, and I even got a bonus for that. Then at the end of the year, we sat down, I was given an increase in salary. That staff that I trained also got his role and responsibility increased, and he got a bonus for that. So finally, I had a meeting with all stakeholders, and I gave a recommendation that in future, we should consider having an what they call an ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, which will help us improve on our data gathering in terms of our core businesses, and also help manage our clients. And at the end of the day, it was a win-win for everybody. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Do we have question for him, please?
No question. My only observation would be that he had quite a number of initiatives tied in there. I heard training, I heard free delivery, I heard resource planning. There are quite a lot of things in there. I would, if I was going for an interview, I would stick to just one initiative, and expatiate on that even more. I like the fact that you had loads of initiatives, a lot of initiatives which you had implemented and which came to fruition at the end of the day. But sticking to maybe just one, like the cleansing that you did on is it the repository or something? I would say stick to one so that within 2 minutes you can be done. And in that wise, not tie yourself up too much, especially when they come to asking you questions. Because sometimes you find that when you have too many things in there, you might and the questions start flowing, you might forget what you have said. So that's one thing, one observation. If not overall, I would say it's a very good effort. Thank you.
Thank you so
Very
much.
Noted.
Thank you so much. Barrister, have you got anything to ask? Okay. All right.
He put something on the platform.
I've written my comments there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Let me read it out. So it says two very important aspects of data governance that are very essential are data security and privacy.
Okay.
Yes, sorry, I did mention the security there. I said myself and my one other colleague were given the rules of steward, custodian, and data ownership.
Yeah, that's not security. That's a responsibility rules.
Okay, all right.
So anyway, Barrister, listen to you very well. I know because I know what you've also said. You've done very well, to be quite honest, very first time, and I know you're going to come back about 2 times again today to make sure we finish it. And I'll ask a few questions on these things on it anyway. So nice presentation. Promise Ruben said that. I think we are expecting from him as well. So you talk about your initiative is about they call you for price and product. That's what you mentioned. And you were able to identify the field you were to work with, which of course shows that there has not been existing field. Is that correct? There has not been existing field.
Yes, sir, there wasn't.
So that means a green field. So what you do, you did data gathering, and the gathering you did was secondary data. So first of all, what you should have done, anyway, let me just go through what you put down, and also you eventually have the database, and you thought about how to enhance the same database. So and you put yourself in a position of 30 days validation period, also to make sure that and that validation that's where you're supposed to put a kind of security and privacy, which is data protection. So you talk about precise email sending to people, and to be quite honest, all those things would have been being part of the initiative anyway. Then you were authorized because you are data steward and the other person who had been there before, now data owner. So stewards mean that you're just the one going to be doing that primarily. But to be quite honest, you are the program owner. You should know you are the program owner. So because you're able to have access, and by the time you have access, automatic security is supposed to be coming on that. And you also talk about how you train colleagues, and who was interested in be part of the program itself, and also talk about the benefits that came to you. And you mentioned also you were able to have centralized data repository, and then subsequent reward came in, and the enterprise was happy. So now we're gonna shape it in another way. We could say that you have a good idea of it. As if I said the other time, stick to one. And you're going to stick to one today, and you will repeat it even 100 times if it is possible. So because you are as strong as any other person, yes, you're very brilliant, and as well, you are sound, very sound in your articulation. So you can stick to one very short and make it in a way that we must understand which area you really need to concentrate on. And you're going to be right. We're going to give you time to get that done. And before then, it is imperative for me to let you know about everyone here know about how to present things in interview. We have a concept. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
We have a concept. we have a concept called STAR, S-T-A-R. It's an acronym. Oh, it's an acronym. Have you heard of it before?
No.
Okay. You need to write it down. STAR. I'm going to put it on the chat box. If anybody can type it themselves, no problem. STAR is an acronym. It's a S-A-T-R. If you can understand this concept in an interview, you can always do well in an interview. Okay? What does this S stands for? The S stands for situation. Okay? What that means is that you describe the background, the context of your situation. You can explain where you were working just as you started, what the setting was, a green field or brown field, and what needed to be addressed. That means something is wrong somewhere else. That's why you carry out the initiative. You can say, for example, at my previous job as a data analyst, our team noticed inconsistency in monthly reporting that affected decision making. You just stated the fact, and that is your STAR. Previous job, that means you know where you work, and your setting is just as a data analyst, and you discover there was an issue that needed to be addressed, and it affecting strategic decision making. That's the situation. Is that okay?
Yes,
That's STAR, means situation. Okay? Then what does the T stands for? T stands for you have to explain your specific responsibility or challenge. Okay, your role and the challenges you make. For example, what does that really mean? That clarify what you were supposed to achieve or solve. That is your responsibility. Okay, you can say, oh, I was assigned to identify the root cause of discrepancies and also maybe ensure accurate reporting, because if you look at your task must more contingent to the situation. Do you understand that, everyone?
yes, sir.
Okay, so then what will be the action you will take? The action you will take will be like, you know, the action you will take will be like, action means that detailed steps you took to resolve the issue or complete the task himself. So what did you do? You need to focus on what you did in the interview and not the team, unless relevant to be mentioned at the team. But you see, that's why if it was mentioned in last week, with respect to when Paul was articulating his, you need to say I did, but in collaboration with, you understand? But that becomes the team name coming in based on the relevance of it. Okay? Because if you also are trying to express in your communication that you collaborated with people. So action you carry out in that, it will be example like I conducted a data audit across 3 months. Okay, that's the range of time or range of timeline that you wanted to conduct that data audit. Well, then you found what flaws in data extraction logic, or maybe restructure the ETL pipeline to fix it. So that the concept of ETL is extract, transfer, and load into a targeted database. I think Barrister put, no, FA, is it FA or Barrister? Yeah, Barrister put something here in action. He said detail specific steps to address the situation or achieve the task. For example, you need to have all these example put no matter how it is. Okay, then what about the result? The result will be the arrow there. That means okay, so the result will be like share the outcomes or result of your actions. Whenever possible, use numbers or tangible evidence as something you can feel, you can have, you can see. For example, the new pipeline eliminated errors, improved report accuracy by 95%, and help managers make more confident decisions. short, very short. So everyone going to apply it right now here. And while we're doing that, why some people are presenting, the other people should be thinking of what to do, because this is what data governance is all about. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do we understand the concept of star?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so James, you're gonna go back again, and you're gonna come back again. So, Paul, have you got anything for us before promise or peace? Peace, if you can talk, no problem. If you can't talk today, no problem as well.
Let me try and talk today.
Okay, so
Let,
no, when you start talking, you're going to talk a lot later, because if it is 100 times today, that means I want people to start to work. And those who can be doing that, then we know we're going to speed you straight to go find way to work. It's about training and working. Okay, okay. Right on base if you are ready.
if I talk once, I don't think I will continue. Maybe next week, because I'm a bit strong.
I
But
know,
I just
I know, don't worry. Just talk first and see where you can go.
okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay. My name is Peace. Thank you for having me. I recall an initiative carried on out when I worked with RCCG. We discovered that we spend more on diesel than electricity bill. So my boss instructs me to know the reason why we spend more on that based on the budget of the month. So every month we have a budget of 150K, 150,000 naira for diesel and 150,000 naira for electricity bill. But we discover we spend more on diesel, reason based on we were cut short of NEP electricity before the end of the month, and we fall back using diesel, more of diesel, because the budgets of 150 could not carry us all through the month. So I decided to carry on an initiative on knowing the reason why it was like that. So I gave that questionnaire to the security men and this receptionist to find out the reason why, to get some information from there. And I used descriptive method based on the former place I work. I use descriptive method to identify the reason for our our shortfall. So I got back the questionnaire from the security men and the receptionist on why it was like that. I did some cleansing and discovered that we have to buy more of electricity bill by reducing the cost of diesel monthly, our budget by reducing our monthly budgets and increasing our electricity bill. So what we did, we reduced the electricity and the diesel by 30% and add it to our electricity bill. And we discover by doing that, we use the electricity bill all through the months, and we'll see achieve our goals. And at the end of the day, we discover that we even have some extra income to the company accounts by doing that. And I spoke with my accountant about it. He bought the idea and said I should carry on with what we got from our data and the initiative, our data. So I go ahead and accountant buy the idea, and we did that. We did the reduction of the diesel from 150 to 100,000. Then we now bought a electricity bill of 200,000, and at the end of the day, we discovered that we were using electricity. There was no uh, uh, extra budget for the month. Instead of that, we were having 10% income to the to the organization, even on the same budget. And my accountant took the initiative to our boss. Our boss appreciated it, and at the end of the day, we're given a bonus for a job well done. Thank you, sir.
Well done. Thank you. Any question?
Yes. So first of all, like I mentioned last week, when you are in front of an interview panel, they don't want to know what other people in the organization, they want to know what you yourself and you did at that at wherever you're coming from. So in this case now, you were mentioning we know that yes, you might have done it in collaboration with other people, but we want to know your own effort. We want to see the result of your own effort. So the initiative you mentioned was how you were able to reduce diesel consumption instead of diesel or fuel consumption. How you were able to reduce it. But you were mentioning the accountant, that the accountant took it to your boss. It shouldn't be the accountant taking it to your boss. It should be I took it to my boss, and he was quite pleased I had done that. I was the one that was responsible for there being a 20% reduction overall in diesel purchase or in fuel purchase. I was the one who discovered that from the spreadsheets where we normally input all expenditures, for diesel and for fuel. I discovered that there were a lot of inaccuracies in the data. I discovered that we were expending a little bit too much money on diesel. I discovered that if we spend that money more on electricity, we will be able to save. The company will be saving on 20% reduction or whatever. At the end of the day, my manager was quite pleased, and he was able, through that, I was able to get a raise, or I was promised a raise at the end of the year, or I was sent for further training or something. But the important thing is making sure it's you, because that's what they want to know. If you're bringing to the company, what are you going to be bringing into the company? What initiatives are you going to be bringing into the company? Not what the accountant is bringing, not what is good that you even did them survey. So which means you got other people's input into whatever you were doing. So that's a good step on your part, that you use the initiative to find out from everyone why we're doing what we're doing wrong. It's probably they've been doing it for years and no one has ever questioned them. So that's quite good. You discovered on the data sheet all that information, and that was why you took the initiative to make sure the data was accurate. That was quite good. So it's a good effort, but it could be better. But the important thing is making sure it's you, I. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Anything from Barrister? Okay. Really, thank you so much, Priscilla. I didn't know that we can try like this anyway.
Something Richard Barry says put on the platform. It says in a job interview, using I allows you to clearly articulate your individual contributions, your responsibilities and accomplishments, showcasing your specific skills and impacts. Why teamwork is important. Using I helps the interviewer understand your role and what you specifically achieved, rather than just what the team achieved. Yes. So it's
Very
what
important.
achieved, not what even if you never did jack, it was Adapo that did it. You take the credit for it. That's all they would be proactive. So
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Barrister. Thank you, Ife. This is very crucial. Everyone should take note of this. Okay. You really did well anyway, Peace. I could be better, so I think you will come back, definitely come back again. I want you to know that you were able to talk about, your comparison, the work you did, the initiative you carry out is about diesel versus electricity. You mentioned of amount you spend on diesel and amount you spend on electricity. So you were able to, so you gave initiative of saying that how much, how would you be able to save money? That is the main thing. I think that's what all about anyway. So that is the reason why you needed to do that initiative. So you said you went to the root cause, which is the reason why this is happening. I remember you mentioned descriptive analytics, which of course the secondary data you gather. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you gather secondary data, and you also now do a survey. So what survey did you do again? Because
sorry.
if you gather,
Sorry, there was something else I just remembered based on what Pastor has just said. When we are doing interviews, we never mention, okay, so you use descriptive methods to get to your survey. Never say, I use descriptive methods. Just tell us what you have done. Don't mention, I use descriptive methods. Don't mention, I use real-time scenario method. Don't mention the method. Just say what you have done. Just describe what you have done. And even
it's better for you to say, I went to the root cause of it and I discovered this is the reason why.
Yes.
And then you now collaborated with your team method all across the functional department and provide data governance policies to make sure every other initiative I'm going to carry out is followed, policies followed. So you can just do that. If you go to descriptive, you're actually doing analytics, you're doing data analysis work now. So that was what I was trying to tell you. You mentioned descriptive. So that means you gather secondary data. So why did you mention survey again? So if you do survey, that means it will be primary.
Okay, sir.
So that thereby is no more just secondary. You are doing what is called a mixed method in gathering your data gathering. You already have descriptive. You discover a lot of things, and then you mention the cleansing. Really, to be quite honest, I really don't know why the cleansing. Because you gather data and you discover the data. You'll be making the diesel to be spent, you both spending about 150. The 150 you mentioned, I wasn't sure which is the 150 naira, 150K, 150,000.
Yes, sir. 150,000, sir.
So you make sure you have to be very precise and specific, because you say 150, then you were able to reduce the diesel from 150 to 100,000, and that automatically have 30% reduction according to you. And also you mentioned that you were able to increase electricity from 150 to 200,000. Yeah. So that, you know why you have to increase one to the other. So those results need to be well explained. You had extra income to the company, because, like as if I said, the accountant wouldn't be the one that will carry it to the, but you are the one who need to. So it will reflect in the accounting department and you receive reward. No problem. No problem. You've done very well. But the important thing, you're going to go back and put them in a star form.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and you're going to put them in a star form and then come back and articulate it so simple, very simple. Okay? And for you to even do it this way, no problem. By the time you keep on doing it, one day I will say everybody who is presenting should open should bring your picture, your video out. I want to see your eye, whether you're speaking from, you read from book or speaking from your head and from your, without looking at your book. That will be very good. So we'll get to that level as we're talking, you're talking directly, you don't even look at your book. So this is how it is. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do we
Thank
have,
you, sir.
no problem. Thank you. I really, at least celebrated to have actually really come out with this. Do we have Ramsey? Can you talk today? I promise.
No, sir.
Okay, promise you can't talk today.
Let me
Yes, sir.
do
Promise Ruben. Who is do I know to be Ruben or promise?
It's the same person, sir.
Sorry?
Is it the same person, sir?
Ah,
Yes, sir.
okay. So promise Ruben. What's your surname?
Ruben.
So your name is Promise.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But I prefer Ruben, sir.
Okay. Ruben, do you want to speak now?
Not yet, sir. I've not actually worked on anything yet.
Okay. No, you don't need to
Yes.
work on something, but you need to just work the way we are articulating. Don't worry, but you will get there. Okay, Ramsin, are you ready to speak to us? Because we're gonna close soon because I really want people to go back and get it right. Ife?
Let me do one, but I will be specifically mentioning star when I'm doing it. Just
Okay.
so you know that
So
I'm using the star.
okay, everyone
So
listen.
I will mention the words, I will mention the situation, I will mention the tax when it
Okay.
gets to tax, and I'll mention action and I'll mention results.
Okay.
So start now. Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me on. It's a great pleasure to indeed be here in front of the panel. So an initiative I carried out was when I was with a large health organization. So that's the situation now. I faced, there were lots of challenges faced with their data quality, security, and compliance, which meant there was a lot of inaccurate reporting being done, inefficient decision making, and increased data breaches, increased risks of data breaches. That's the situation. Then the tax, nice. I was therefore taxed with implementing a data governance program to improve the quality, the security, and compliance, which will at the end of the day give us accurate reporting and better informed decision, and of course reducing risks overall, which, as we all know, that will affect the finances of the company. So the action I carried out, first of all, was to establish a data governance council, which comprised of various stakeholders from various backgrounds to make sure they oversee the data governance initiatives, which I was carrying out. I also developed, I created policies and procedures for data management. I established methods of data validations and cleansing, and made the process more normalized, because prior to then there was a lot of red tape in the process. I also ensured that adequate training was done and adequate awareness raised throughout the company through surveys, through emails, face-to-face contact with various people within the organization. And of course, I always got the same response from people that, yes, we do need to have this data cleansed. The result of all that survey, training, implementing data controls and all that was that there was improved. So this is the result now. There was improved data quality. There was a serious reduction in data errors and inconsistencies, because previously, before now, we had so many customers bearing the same name, same address. Some of them were no longer even existing anymore. There was enhanced security, because I put in data security. I put in different measures that will use in stopping breaches from various external places. Of course, we've heard of Marks and Spencer recent issue where there was a data breach. So that was one of the first things which I was concerned with. I also ensured that there was compliance with regulatory requirements, reducing the risks of penalties and fine by the company to the company. I also made sure that there was better informed decision making through accurate and reliable data. So that was my result. So I have just used the STAR methods to demonstrate a clear and structured approach to data-related challenges. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Paul, can you comment on that, please? Hold on, somebody's knocking at the door. Okay, Paul,
Sir?
can
Sir?
can you comment on that as well?
On if I can present or if I can comment on what she
Comment
said.
on what she said, yeah.
She's way ahead. That was the best I've seen. That was the best I've seen. Like she's so articulate in the way she does it. I don't know how she's so comfortable presenting like that. I don't know how she's so comfortable. She's not second guessing herself. That's the most important thing. Because if I'm presenting, I tend to second guess myself. I want to say something. I say no, this is not the right word or grammar to put in that sentence. But she's seamless. It feels like AI at times. But that was very, very good.
So, Ruben,
So
what can you say about that?
I don't really have much to say. I'll say it was a superb presentation, very classic.
And you say
Very,
bravo.
yeah, I say bravo. She did extremely well, more than other, more than
Now we're all learning, so we're all learning. So the reason I brought
I've actually learned a lot using the acronym STAR while making
yes,
presentations. Yeah,
yes.
I've learned
If
a
you
lot from
can,
her.
yeah, thank you so much. If you can follow the acronym, it make life
Yeah.
so simple for yourself. Make life so simple for yourself. Ramsey, do you want to comment, and then are you ready to speak where you are, Ramsey?
I'll just say that was brilliant, sir. She was very good.
Okay. So are you ready to tell us anything? Or
Not today, sir.
don't run away from
Next
your
week.
schedule.
Next week, by God's grace.
Yeah, because we are closing in 8 minutes. So because I
Okay,
want
yeah, I'm
us
still
to
here,
be,
sir.
I want us to be strong in all these things, so that we can always articulate it. Okay. So as long as you use the STAR method, there is nothing you cannot achieve in anything. Okay. Right. Okay. Ready for Paul? Paul, if you have your hands up.
Yes, just like to say thank you everyone for for those beautiful compliments. But I just like to say that the reason I was specifically mentioning situation, tax, result, and action is because an achievement is because I wanted everyone to see how the star plays out. But please, if you go to an interview, don't mention situation, don't mention tax. Don't mention them, but just for us to know. And like I said before in one of the chats I put in earlier on, STAR is something which we use every single day. For example, someone I meet a friend or somebody, and they say, "Oh, how are you? I've not seen you for a while." What I would say, "Oh yes, I traveled to Cotonou, for example." "Oh, really? Why did you go to Cotonou?" So that's the situation. I went to Cotonou to go and purchase some clothes for sale and all that. And then the person now will go on to say, why did you go to do that? Or what was your intention? Okay, so Christmas is coming. My intention is to sell and make money for the Christmas. And as you know, girls like buying shoes and bags during the Christmas. So that, of course, is my target audience. Then at the end of the day, and when I did that, I found that, so this is, I found that the clothes and everything were sold and everybody loved them. And because of that, my intended target was to at least make 50% income or profit for which my children or my husband or something will benefit from. I even exceeded that. So at the end of the day, I got more than, so I already exceeded that. So that is the start. We talk, we do gossips every day with our friends. When we're talking about the gossip or we're talking about somebody, we're specific about the situation, we're specific about the target, we're specific about the achievement, and we're specific at the end of the day, the results that person is going to, or what we intend to achieve, or what we achieved at the end of the day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ife. Right. So why we are strong in this aspect is that whenever you face interviewer will ask you, they don't have time, they are too busy. They just want to know who is ready. And we are preparing everyone here to be like someone who is ready, have been in the business for 5 years. And when you talk, people know that this person is ready. Say, you know what? Where do you live? Far away, or this and that. You're going to work online, this, that. They start giving you induction instead of continuing the interview, because within 2-3 minutes you speak, we already know who is who of who. So this is the confidence we want to always have from here. That is why so many people who are trained by company with such strong amount of money, some of them can't get the job because only 2% have been acquired in the world. We have 98%. We need people who need to fill the gap strong. And this is how you can do it. It's not meant for those who are not ready. That's why we want people to be speaking. Okay? That's why I want people to be speaking. It's about speaking because you need to know that you are not just coming as someone as a neophyte, but someone who has been there because you'll be trained. Everything that you need to work in the industry, we have it here, even more than. So we're giving you more confidence to speak. Prepare yourself to speak. Okay? Thank you so much. Paul, do you want to go through yours?
In the 4 minutes, okay. Let me go through them. Let me go through it.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity. As I said earlier, my name is Paul Ekene. In my previous job at a supermarket, I discovered it was a grain field. I was immediately given a period of 14 days to figure out the issues in the organization. And after the said period, I went back to my superiors and I gave them the following feedback in the following order of importance. Firstly, there was poor product quality control as a result of poor product inspection. 2, there was no inventory management due to human errors, and no particular set of employees were assigned to the job. 3, no reliable customer feedback system. I was given a period of 30 days to rectify the issues with our product quality control as top priority. Now, with the help of the personnel department, I was able to organize training programs for the employees on customer service, product knowledge, and operational procedures. For a lack of customer feedback, I was given a sizable sum from the finance department, and I was able to organize surveys and comment cards. This helped us identify areas for improvements based on customer service and customer satisfaction. For our product quality control, I established strict control measures for perishable goods and regular inspections for damage, expiration, or spoilage. For inventory management, I implemented a robust inventory management system to ensure accurate stock levels and effectively prevent stockouts. I implemented a new digital system, which was an automated checkout system, and I submitted a bid for a mobile app to be built. So after successfully implementing these initiatives, our customer feedback was through the roof. We reduced damage and expiration by 30% in the first month, 50% in the second, and the percentage increased as time went by. For our inventory management, we completely solved the issue during our first month, and our relationship with our suppliers were much more comprehensive. Our only drawback was that some of the employees took longer to get used to our digital system, and also to ensure that our inventory system wasn't tampered with. employees that were specified to the text were given two-factor authentication codes so that they can be the only ones to access the data on our inventory. I also ensured that the employees that took longer to learn were given much more training so that they could understand our checkout system. At the end of implementing my initiatives, my superiors were pleased. I was allowed to, or I was given the initiative to start an IT department. I was given a raise of 25%, and my bid for the mobile app was approved. Thank you.
Okay. That was cool. So anybody to comment on that? Thank you so much.
It wasn't seamless. It was not seamless.
Yeah, don't worry. You're coming back. You're coming back. I'm supposed to close by now because I really don't want to be pumping things at a time. I just want us to pass through these hurdles, everyone, before we can move forward.
Thank
So
you.
then I feel happy that people are good to do exams now. I mean, an interview now to get job, work all over the world. Okay, that's very good. Anybody? Yeah, Ife?
It does not have to. I just like to make mention of the fact that it does not have to be seamless. People, we are all human, so we're allowed to make mistakes. You can even go for an interview and start off and then realize that, oh, sorry, wait a minute, that was not even what I wanted to talk about. I'm making a mistake. And you can tell them, sorry, can I go again? And then it becomes more seamless because you just remembered something that you were meant to have mentioned.
Yeah, that's it.
So that is it. I would like to say that yes, the situation was there, the tax was there. Yes, it was a very good try compared to your last week. Compared to what you did last week, it was really good. The only issue I had, we said our only drawback. I don't understand that. Our only drawback part of
I think what he was referring to the challenges. So use the
okay.
word challenging because if you are doing
Yeah, I said the drawback was like our employees could not use the system. Some employees took longer to get acquainted to the
Okay.
system.
yeah, so
Okay.
that's
So
why that's what use the word challenging anyway. That's the
the
right
only
definition.
challenge, you say the only challenge that we faced or something, that
Okay,
will
sir.
be
Because
better than
if you have any initiative, you are bound to face challenge. If you have not mentioned the challenge you
because
face,
the
that
reason.
means
And then I know that in Nigeria we call our ogas or our the people above us, we call them superiors. Please, I would like us to get used to the fact that we call them team leads or managers, because these data governance training is not just for jobs in Nigeria. We're also looking at jobs outside Nigeria. So it could be someone calling you from the UK, or someone calling you from the States, or someone calling you from Saudi Arabia or something. So using the words manager, team lead, or team leader or something, it was much more better than superior
yeah.
for me, I would say.
Thank you
Because I
so
think
much.
superior doesn't, okay, well, I need to find out what it is in a dictionary, superior. All right, thank you.
One of the things I must really appreciate you for, Paul, your diction is very nice. You speak clearly and point and precisely to the goal. I love that. You know,
Thank you, sir.
are you? Yeah, you're talking as if you are a lawyer, but meanwhile you are an engineer or whatever field are you?
I'm a surveyor, sir.
A surveyor. Your
Yes, sir.
diction is really. I mean, we have barristers here, and we have lawyers here. There's a law student here too who is even listening to you. If you pronounce something that you do, you're so clear in what you do and in your pronunciation. You have sound confidence in any of it, which is you're gonna go very high, and just follow the star. When you come next time, make sure you follow the star procedure properly. Even if you write it down and follow this, in fact, I want you to start the star S is this, the situation is this, and this is the task, and this is this, and I write it down like that. There's no problem in you writing it down like as stars, and then come and even read it for me And the time I'll say people to come out the way on video, then I will know that you're sleeping in it, you're waking up and you're eating it anytime. Okay, so also everyone who has presented here today. Okay, so try as much as possible, to understand the use of the staff. But apart from that, you were so clear, you were able to identify as a green feed, you discover poor quality control, and people do not have they are nowhere informed in terms of product knowledge, and you talk about personnel and talk about perishable goods as well, how to take care of the stock art system, stock art level, and to avoid to know the stock level and to avoid stock art. You mentioned the training as well, and just how you went about it. So the challenges as well. These are very important things that you can always mention. Okay. For example, if you have data quality issues, resolving data quality issues, okay, you can say, tell me about a time when you identify a problem with data integrity. This is a kind of question that comes. Do you see that?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
sir.
this question can come in anywhere. I can tell me about yourself, what you have done before this or that initiative. But the question can also go in a different form and say, you know what, tell me about the time when you identify a problem with data integrity. So they are telling you should say something about data quality initiative. That's what it means. So you can say, okay, maybe situation. My previous company, the sales team noticed that monthly revenue reports often show inconsistent figures compared to the CRM, data. CRM data mean that your platform, that's what it means. That means a customer relation management platform. That's what it means, CRM. So I was tasked, and this is not task. You see what I'm saying? I was tasked with investigating the source of the inconsistencies and ensuring that the reporting process was reliable. That is the task. What was the action we carry out? I perform, this time we will not say we perform, say I perform a detailed audit of the ETL process. ETL means, extract, transformation, transform and load to targeted, database. I perform an audit of the ETL process and discovered that some data transformation were duplicating transactions. So I collaborated with the engineering team to redesign the data pipeline and implemented validation checks at each stage. Okay. And then what was the result? You can say, well, they corrected the process, eliminated discrepancies, improved data accuracy by over 90%, and restored the confidence of the sales team in our reporting system. And that leads to very good insight from the customers and also strategic decision making. Then I was promoted and rewarded. So simple. How do you find that simple one? Hello.
Sir.
Absolutely brilliant.
Good. You can do on a healthcare system. You can also do on the clinical trials. You can do on the optimization appointment scheduling. You can do so many anyway. I like the one that Peace did. He just related it to his simple company. Simple like that. Just have the star. Use the star. If you use the star, so simple. You're not expected to say so many things. All right. It is when they ask you a question, you cannot expand. Okay. Don't do three things at the same time. Just say one. Simple. And your communication, the way you have a command and your communication skill also being known the way you articulate it. Okay. Do we have any question? Anybody? Any question from anyone?
No,
Good. Please.
not from the others.
Do you enjoy yourself today? That's what I want to ask.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Good.
I really like,
Yes, I
like
learned a
everything.
lot today, sir.
Really?
Yeah, I'm learning more.